How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Wednesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about here today, including last night's NXT. Did you guys watch that show? That was the best NXT in a long time. I thought it was an excellent show. And they've got Roadblock coming up in 2 weeks. And we got a big match coming up on that show, which a lot of people are very surprised about, but we'll tell you about that here. And a bunch of matches, actually. We'll go over the entire card for the show, but the unification match is the one that everyone seems to be talking about at this moment, so we'll tell you about that. Also, tonight is AEW Dynamite, and we have 6 segments announced for the show as of this moment. And, of course, we've got a pay-per-view coming up, not this weekend, but the weekend after Sunday. And this weekend, we've got WWE Elimination Chamber. So we'll give you the lineup for that show as well. And then the rest of the news, TKO is doing some combined weekend events. They've got PBR, UFC, and Raw all on the same weekend. And there will be more of these, in fact. It is part of the new relationship. CM Punk's heading to the European Tour. We got Collision numbers. And as noted, all of the matches and angles from the NXT show on Tuesday night. Now, I'll just tell you right now, there may or may not be an After Dark Radio here today because we had a guest scheduled, and he's had the flu, and so he had to pull out. And so if I think I can pull something together to go solo in a short period of time between this show and that show, then we'll do it. Otherwise, it'll be a replay. So stay tuned, everybody. Back in a moment with more Observer Live on Wrestling Observer Live. We did, in fact, by popular demand, watch Ready to Rumble.
The champion is some fat loser.
Yeah, he's a completely talentless, no athletic ability, can't wrestle, broke bum that walked out on his wife and kid.
But he was
he's
over.
The world champion.
He
and
was.
In the movie, the
well, yeah, but
storyline
that's
is,
a microcosm of wrestling, sadly.
Yes.
He feels so bad about drinking this entire slushy that cost $1.26, and he sticks his finger in his asshole and walks up to the clerk.
Lance is dying. How could the movie be so bad?
I'm not going to fault the man for that, of all the things in the movie.
I thought for sure you were going to say you'd done this before.
There's a reason I'm not going to fault the man for that.
I just think with all the porta potties and farting in this, that I think Vince McMahon was a secret producer on this film. Had to have been.
So then we get the Shermanator. He's playing a WCW arcade game. He uses some internet sleuthing to find the personal information of Jimmy King.
He's searching the internet. Gonna find out anything on here. This movie was so antiquated. Every Nitro Girl is in a Nitro Girl outfit, except for this girl. They had her dance in something totally different.
Brian, like the captain.
So we're so stupid. I got it.
Captain
Yes,
Stavin?
if you're watching this film, you're that stupid. I'm sorry.
But I was also insulted by the fact they hired Michael Buffer to announce the Royal Bash, the fake-ass Royal Bash.
$24 million budget.
Wow.
And probably $500,000 of that went to Michael Buffer. It made 12. You know, we should mention this cage match is the triple-decker Cage of Doom. Everybody buried it. It was horrible. Everybody hated it. And so they decided to make a movie. And what is the final battle? It's another goddamn triple-decker cage match. This would be like in 2010 if like TNA made a movie and the final match was a reverse battle royal.
They throw powder in someone's face, DDP's, I think, or somebody's, and the dude just looks at it and goes, "It doesn't work." It's like, of course, because wrestling's fake and stupid.
Should we just end it there? What a soundbite. There has never been a movie I have watched in my entire life which has made me hate myself more.
Wow.
I'm ashamed that I'm even in the place at 41 years old where I would end up reviewing this movie for money. I would have thought I would have made it out of here by now. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Well, everyone, hopefully we can do this again someday. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Happy birthday, Mike. I heard it's your birthday today.
Did you now?
Yeah, I heard
Thank
you're
you.
76 years old.
Don't
God.
look a day over 75.
My, how time flies.
Yeah, you know what this birthday means? It's my 49th birthday this year. You know what that means, don't you?
You're old.
You're a little bit older. And you know that milestone
Because
is
I wasn't a
coming.
little older yesterday when I was 49. You were 48.
I
Hey,
know,
here's a
but
big question. Why didn't your wife or your son or yourself get you a birthday cameo?
because they love me.
Oh. F4W Online on Cameo, everybody. Hey, you know what? I don't think people realize this, but I do cameos. And I have all 5-star ratings. And I am on a streak of 436 cameos without missing one.
Wait a second. If somebody
heard me.
paid you for them, wait a second.
Well,
wait a second.
no. There's a limit. So, like, if it's like X number of days, you have to finish it. And apparently, like, some people don't regularly within that time frame. But not me. Not
And
me.
you give them more than they even deserve.
Oh, I
for
give
their
more
money.
than they deserve. Trust me, I give more than they bargained for. Check it out on Cameo, F4W Online. They're $25, not bad. Maybe I'll even do a discount one of these days, but unlikely. So anyway, we got a lot to get into today. One of which is last night's NXT, which we'll review later. And the big news on that show is they did announce, like out of nowhere, in 2 weeks on Roadblock, it is Julia and Stephanie in a double title match for the NXT Women's and NXT Women's North American titles. Now, when this first happened, I was like, my God, what? What is going on? Why is this happening here? And without spoiling it, because if I spoil it, I spoil the match, one of these women is banged up, needs time off. And so they're doing the match, and then she's taking time off. So that's what happened. Wasn't something where you can wait around for WrestleMania weekend or whatever. So
Can
2
I
weeks.
play the speculation
No,
station?
don't do it.
Oh,
Because
come
you
on.
know. Exactly. We've also got Oba Femi versus Moose. I cannot wait for that match. Guys,
You know what?
let me tell you something.
Good.
Moose and Lexus King last night. Dude, that was the best Lexus King match I've ever seen. This Moose is great. And Oba Femi is like, he's way too good. And the fans are dying to see this match. And we're getting it in 2 weeks. So there you go.
Wait a second. No. Guanzon in the chat. That's exactly what I was going to say. Do not chant meat, you geeks. Stop that.
They can chant meat. That's a
No.
meat match if I ever saw one.
But that's the whole problem here. I mean, honest to God. Really? Are we going to start calling them big bears slamming up against each other? Like, come on
No, it's a
now.
moose.
Well, you get touche.
I want them to chant
still-
moose meat
Big,
repeatedly throughout the... you ever had moose meat?
no.
I've had bison.
I've had camel once, actually.
You know what's really good? You know what actually is really good is bison. If you get like a
Bison is
bison
really
ribeye,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
those are
venison.
good, dude.
Venison deer is
Too lean.
fantastic, too.
I don't want anything
Oh,
lean.
come
You
on.
kidding me?
Anyway, Big Bill was wrestling Powerhouse Hobbs. Those guys were murdering each other. Those are guys that fans believe in, even if they're not pushed well. And there they are, as they're bleeding all over the place, killing each other, destroying each other. They're chanting meat. And it just reminded me of like when Tony Schiavone is there in WCW and like people are trying to get stuff over and there's Cactus Jack killing himself with whatever it is, barbed wire, and he's laughing because it's uncensored. Like, no, to me, the fans are a big part of the atmosphere when it comes to a show. I mean, everybody remembers the COVID shows. So come on, fans, like maybe get it together here and stop chanting meat every time you just see two big dudes in the ring, you bunch of geeks.
Obviously, your 74th birthday today. My God, what an old man. Keep the meat chants going, everybody.
Don't.
Moose meat. That's what I want to hear chanted at NXT.
Not loose meat. Moose meat.
And then we've got Hardy Boys against Fraxium.
I got to put my teeth in.
For the tag team titles. Yeah, you do.
Oh.
Tag team titles, Hardy Boys versus Fraxium. So it's a big show. They're loading up this roadblock, let me tell you. Trying to get 10 grand in that building. Actually, I don't know how many of the theater seats. It's the theater at MSG, which is very respectable, the theater at MSG. Don't downgrade it because it ain't MSG.
Don't.
Because I once worked at the theater at the Tacoma Dome. And that's technically at the Tacoma Dome.
Don't throw
I wrestled
any
a dome
shade.
show.
Okay, don't ever slight the former Felt Forum, which is what it is. The old
is that
theater.
what it is?
Yes, the theater at Madison Square Garden. It's had a bunch of different names. Yeah.
Wow.
The overflow of Madison Square Garden.
The theater at Madison Square Garden is much better than the Felt Forum.
Well, that's back in the
day.
day.
Were they sponsored by Felt back in the day when people crafted?
A lot of it on the walls.
TKO has its first ever takeover series of events. Wednesday, the company revealed plans. You know what you should do? Brandon just sent like a great idea here, actually.
Oh, boy.
Jared, put a picture of, or Suncast or whoever, put a picture of Mike's face up there. Let's see it. Now, just look like you normally do. Okay, perfect. That needs to go on a shirt, and it just says, "Get off my lawn." You've been asking for a shirt for years, dude. For years. Come on.
I'm insulted.
Why? I didn't come up with the idea. Brandon did. He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Wednesday, the company revealed plans to run
Don't
3
ever
events
come on my lawn, son.
over 5 nights at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Lineup begins with PBR on Thursday, UFC Fight Night on Saturday, and concludes with a Raw on Monday.
I already lit a candle and said a prayer for all of the hospitality workers in Kansas City for those days. I can tell you that right now.
I like how we got to do like Thursday, Saturday, Monday. Not like
Brian,
3 straight days.
Look at these shows. They didn't pay for the premium package, okay? That's why they're getting TKO. They're getting the Bull Riders on Thursday. You get a Fight Night. You get Raw. You're not getting a premium live event. You're not getting a full UFC
No, I'm just
show.
saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying why don't you do like Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Why don't you put SmackDown on Friday, and then you just go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you're out of there. Now you got these people that have to show up Wednesday. They can't leave till Tuesday because you're doing Thursday, Saturday, Monday.
It
doesn't care. It ain't my company.
That's the whole gimmick.
I'm just trying to be nice.
They don't care about their employees. We got employees complaining right now about like WWE employees. We just had that story a couple of days ago. They're doing this because they want to draw 7 days worth of people to Kansas City. And that's how that goes. And there's going to be a lot of disappointed people. I have a feeling, even with AEW doing more pay-per-views, that a lot of these pay-per-views just go to the same cities over and over again. Indianapolis, Atlanta, New Orleans, because these are the places that have the big, great convention committees, and they have these chambers of commerce that obviously are loose with giving tax breaks and doing things for these companies. So it's one of those things where if you're not getting them on a regular basis now, you still may not be, just because if your city is not pouring bucks into this sort of stuff, you may be shut out.
All right, we got a lot of comments here. First off, Lucha Gato claims he had his high school graduation at the theater at Madison Square Garden, at the Felt Forum. That's where your graduation was? Wow.
I thought, ours was at Merriweather Post Pavilion, so it was a pretty big venue.
Actually, now that I think about it, ours might have been at the Key Arena. So I worked the Key Arena once. And then we got, this person says, a Hawaiian shirt with Semp's face all over it would sell millions. I mean, if we could do that. And then Yeti Pot Pie says, probably takes an extra day to move the dirt after the rodeo. Let me tell you something. I once worked at a rodeo with Buddy Wayne.
No. Get out of here.
No, I did. I actually did. It was in a bull ring, and they put a ring in the middle of all of the dirt. That was the first show I ever worked with Buddy where he almost turned around and drove back because I was such an idiot before the match. The match ended up being fine. But anyway, the point is, that'd be the SmackDown of the year. If they ran that in a bull ring, if they just put the ring in the middle of a bull ring.
It'd be pretty awesome.
And did a show, bro, they'd do huge numbers because these field trip events always do well, but no one does them. Except AEW sometimes. All right, back in a moment. We got more Observer Live. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live.
I was thinking during the break,
That's new.
what is the split going to be on these shirts if they were to hypothetically come to life?
I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that.
Oh, here we go with this again.
I don't.
Now it's not like I'm asking for a raise here where I'd go talk to Tony's uncle's brother's cousin.
Anything you have a question about, ask Tony. I don't know.
He hates when I ask him questions.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I don't know what the split would be. Probably depends on how much you charge. And actually, you should ask, like,
Wait,
Pro
I can
Wrestling
set these
Tees.
prices? I can set these prices.
Well, if you want to charge $300 for a shirt, you can certainly try.
It's gonna be like Nipsey
I don't know if
Hussle's
anyone's going to
mixtape.
buy it, but... And yes, it is
Just have to sell one.
f4wonline.com/shirts, f4wonline.com/shirts. Yes, it is actually tank top weather in Bothell. It's over 60 today, the hottest day of the year.
Beautiful.
After
outside
being
here.
frickin' cold forever. So yeah, I'm wearing a tank top. If you don't like it, turn off the video. I don't care.
Damn.
Now, speaking of, we're supposed to be doing After Dark at 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern every Wednesday. But we had a special guest scheduled today. So normally we have a guest, and then we have a week where I go solo, and then a guest, and then a week where I go solo. And the weeks that I go solo, like, I do a lot of preparation because I got to go solo for an hour talking about Bigfoot or whatever. But today was going to be a guest, but then the guest ends up, they had the flu. So they pulled out today. So I'm telling you now, there may or may not be an After Dark at 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. I'm going to do everything that I can. See, the problem with just taking calls is I can't guarantee I'm going to get an hour of calls. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can, what do you guys want to talk about? I'll ask you right now, and then we'll get back to the news. What would you like to talk about on After Dark today? If you've got a suggestion, put it in the chat, and maybe I'll do a deal where, send me this or that, and if we get enough, maybe I'll do a show.
We should cold call Carl Stern right now. See what he's doing.
I'll bet he'd love that. Okay, we've also got the Collision, 421,000 viewers on TNT, down 16% from last week. Averaged a .12 and 18 to 49. Down 42. None of these down from the previous week even matter because it was that show that aired after the basketball gimmick. And, not a bad number. 421 and a .12 for Collision in its normal time slot on a normal week. That's pretty good. And then if you're interested in it, Dave has got a giant article on the front page regarding the Netflix numbers. And we'll just say it appears they've leveled out. That's what we got here. This person wants me to read his report. That would be an hour of After Dark if I did that.
See, that actually should be an April Fool's Day gimmick that we do. It's just read that whole thing for the entire show.
This guy wants me to talk about those Blair Witch kids. I don't think they were ever found. I hope he's joking.
I hated that when they were filming that because apparently I didn't see the movie. It was supposedly taking place in Western Maryland or something like that. And it's like people are wondering, like, when that thing dropped, like, was that real? Like, are you that big of an idiot? Apparently they were.
Let's see. Oh. Somebody texted me. They may have a scoop.
Ooh.
Let's see. I'm going to tell them this.
For After Dark or for...
Now, for this show.
Ah.
But I can't talk too much about it because I don't want to get anyone in trouble yet. We'll see if they send anything. All right. Person wants to know, can you ask Mike how his day is going? I feel like I hardly hear from him nowadays.
Well, I don't know. I started my day by doing the wrestling news, which you can find every single morning, 365 days a year, 366 if it's leap year, thewrestlingnews.com and at Wrestling News AV on Facebook and Twitter. You can also find it on YouTube, find it on iHeart, tune in, wherever you find your favorite podcast.
All right, if you want to text us, the phone number, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. Send me whatever's on your mind. I'll read it here because we got some time before the NXT report. But in the meantime, tonight is Dynamite, and we got a bunch announced for the show. Takeshita defends his international title against Orange Cassidy. The winner will face Kenny Omega. Coming up at the pay-per-view.
You just did that so you get the arm in the shot?
I was taking my socks off because I'm too hot.
You're actually wearing...
The pants are
you're
next.
wearing socks. Okay.
Undisputed Kingdom versus Daniel Garcia and FTR. We got Will Ospreay versus Brian Keith. Harley Cameron versus Deonna Purrazzo. Hangman Page will be in action. And we will hear from Swerve and Prince Nana. So that's the lineup for Dynamite coming up tonight. And at some point on the show, Adam Copeland will kill another member, I'm sure, of the Death Riders. He's taking them out one at a time.
Who's left now? Did he take out Yuta already? He did he not?
I guess the question is, no, he took out Pac. Is Beth Phoenix available to take out anybody?
I would really hope so, because I would really enjoy that. I always was a big fan of Beth Phoenix, but it seems as if, unless this is a smokescreen, Willow Nightingale is that person, which in a way is a great thing for Marina Shafir, because anything that Willow does is usually pretty good, and she's had a bunch of crazy garbage hardcore, whatever you want to call them, matches that have gotten over. So you figure they're not going to do a series between Marina and Willow. They're going to probably do like one big match where anything goes. So I think they're going to go in that direction.
Actually, it could be
see.
Willow. Could be Willow. Then we got SmackDown on Friday, which has Shinsuke Nakamura defending his title against LA Knight. Can we just change this title and get back to where we were before we did this bizarre title change that went absolutely nowhere?
You know why it happened, right?
So
it was just literally so he could show up in Japan for that Oka Sasaki match as champion, which would be fine. I get it, business decision. But why didn't he just drop it back right away?
Doesn't matter.
Does he still have the goo?
I don't know. I haven't seen him enough to know. He's never on TV. We got Chelsea Green in action and Trish Stratus to appear. Quite a lineup for this 3-hour show. Then on Saturday, we got Elimination Chamber, which is Cena and Punk and Drew and Logan and Damian and Seth in the men's chamber, and Liv, Alexa, Bianca, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne in the women's chamber.
Bet the house on Damian Priest, kids.
And you think Damian Priest is winning?
Hell no, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
You said to bet the house on him. You trying to screw up everyone's lives? What are you doing here? And then Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. And then Tiffy time and Trishy time. I'm not making this up. That's the shirt. That's the shirt.
Tiffy time and Trishy time.
Against Candice and Nia. People buy these shirts.
They do.
And you're wondering why I'm pushing you to put a shirt with your face on it, saying, "Get off my lawn." There's got to be a better line than "Get off my lawn." I have to think about it for a while.
Can obscenities go on shirts? Because I got a couple phrases I'd like to.
I mean, you can. I don't know if it's going to buy it. People like to buy shirts they can wear around with their children, you know?
Really, we're talking about wrestling fans here. When has a product been put out where it's like appropriate to wear it out in public? Very few times. So,
and then on March,
anything with my face on it is going to be an upgrade, I think.
On March 9th, we've got the AEW pay-per-view. That's the following Sunday, not this Sunday, the following Sunday. So we got Jon Moxley versus Cope for the AEW title. MJF versus Hangman Page. Takeshita presumably against Kenny Omega, but perhaps Orange Cassidy will be a spoiler. Give us the match we don't want to see. God bless the guy. We got Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the women's title. Ospreay, Fletcher, Steel Cage. And Mercedes versus Momo Watanabe. And Big Boom AJ has a match. Who will he face? It's a TBA.
Oh, man, is it an open challenge?
I don't know if it's an open challenge, but he's on the show. Big Boom AJ.
Who's the best shooter in the company?
Against someone.
Because I want the best shooter to go in there, and I want him to tie this dude up and make him cry in front of his big old kids.
Why? What's wrong with this guy?
Just because.
I don't need to hear him do promos, but I mean, he's a decent wrestler.
In a different era, somebody from AEW and management would conveniently suggest something like that for him showing up there with that WWE title belt, or what was it, for Tops or whatever it was, showing up. It's like you're getting paid by AEW. They put you on TV in a match, and there you are gimmicking it up for WWE.
Bert says, isn't AJ still injured? Well, I mean, he had, as far as I know, he had like a minor injury that wasn't going to keep him out of action long. So I presume he's back if they're advertising him for the show. And then we've got the upcoming European tour after WrestleMania. Actually, it's a road to WrestleMania. March 14th through 31st. And they've added CM Punk. He will be, let's see, in Belfast on March 22nd. Nottingham, March 23rd. Vienna, March 29th. Amsterdam, March 30th. And he will be on Raw in Glass Show, it says here. Glass Show? Is that a typo or is that a place?
Scotland?
It says GLASHOW. Did AI screw this up, or what is that?
I would think so.
That's March 24th, and then London, March 31st.
Well, it's the Glass Show.
Thanks, Tom. No After Dark today for that. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Man, I gotta say that I was mad when you played that song, Dom, but it kind of grew on me there.
Oh, no.
Kind of a catchy tune.
Like a hemorrhoid.
Kind of was sort of a catchy tune. Kind of want you to play it again. Play some of that again. We got some time here. Cue it up. It's taking this guy so long. God. Dom, are you here?
You want to go take a smoke break?
Oh, you're
I'm
loading
loading it. Hang tight.
God, how long does it take?
Well, you had to splice it.
Gotta get to the lyrics. Your favorite father and son.
We'll be bringing the boom around 3:15.
We bring the boom so loud the whole earth shakes.
With double chunk
That's true.
cookies.
And chicken bakes. Biceps and triceps. Bring the boom that everybody deserves.
I do like the cookies.
We call him Big Justice, cause that's what he serves.
We bring the happiness and laughter when we enter the room. And we're changing up the world with the boom or doom. We bring
See, how can you hate that? Thank you, Dom. That's not bad. It's catchy.
The Fat Boys. An updated version.
Hey,
of
they
the
said
Fat
when they
Boys.
did something, the whole world booms or shakes or something like that.
Yeah, probably when they actually have to, get rid of all that chicken bacon, those cookies they've been eating. Imagine what that scene is like.
God, look at this. Like one after another, and they're all figuring out in the chat that it's a good song.
Was that Kendrick Lamar? Will
It
you
grew
stop?
on me, this person says. I love it too. Yeah, boom or doom.
Boom.
Okay, anyway, let's talk about NXT.
Please, it was a good show.
As much as I liked it, I didn't like as much as that song. This was actually a great show. So we had Stephanie and Carmen Petrovich for the North American title, and this was a very good match, and this is what I got to say. I said it before. Carmen in the ring, like, she's pretty good given how long she's been doing this, but she is desperately missing the charisma aspect. And the problem is, in NXT, there's a lot of women, and a lot of them have a lot of charisma. So she's got to figure that out if she's going to make it, I think.
She's got a sword.
She does have a sword, and she got pinned. And then Julia came out, and we got the challenge for the unification match. It was a good opener. And then we had Ariana and Santino. They're together. And Lola Vice shows up. Ariana kind of blows her off, and so
I was choked up seeing Ariana back too, Brian.
Lola said, "I'll see you tonight." I was disappointed to hear that. I got nothing against Ariana, but
She's great. Come on.
hey, yeah, that's the point. She's great at being Ariana, the beauty queen, next to Santino, making matches and doing comedy skits. Once that bell rings, brother,
Tough. Yeah, you're right.
yep,
You're right.
she's better off being the female Santino. And then we had Lexus. Lexus runs into Oba Femi. And he's talking about how he's going to win tonight against Moose. And it's another one of those segments where Oba just looks at this guy like, brother, you ain't got a chance tonight. And in fact, well, Lexus did have a chance. But in his hometown, and he was cheered, he lost to Moose. And like I said, this match was great. Best Lexus King match I've ever seen. Moose is awesome. They just had a great back and forth match. And finally, Moose killed him with a running spear, pinned him, and then Oba Femi came out, and they made the match for Roadblock. Excellent segment here. Excellent segment. Sean Spears does a promo, introduces us to his crew, the Virgin, the Driver, and Izzy Dame. And literally, as he's explaining all of his guys, there's like a video of the Virgin, and he literally says, on the verge of getting cut, but I saved his career. It's like, wow. Wow. But anyway, he vowed to win the North American title next week. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We had footage of Jada and Kalani almost getting into it on the bus, and this footage was great. It was short, but it was great. And they were both awesome. Then Jordan Grace came out for a promo, and guess who hasn't left yet? Roxanne! Looks like she's going to be on like every show through WrestleMania. And ended
That's
up with...
fine.
Yeah, it was actually... this was fine, but it was almost a disaster. So they did a deal, and they ended up in a brawl, and Roxanne tried to escape, but she got her leg caught in between the top and middle rope, which could have been a complete calamity. But to her credit, in acting like she was trying to get her, Jordan helped her get out, and then she got away. So they're going to be having a match coming up here. Trick looks like he's either he's turning heel. He's reading all these headlines about how he lost to Eddie Thorpe. Javon showed up, and Javon says, man, we're going through the same thing. And Trick goes, you're fighting for a smile. I'm fighting for the title. I was like, whoa.
Damn.
And Javon says, whoa, brother, like, what are we doing here? And Trick tells him, stay in your lane. So now Javon's angry. And Ricky shows up and says, man, why is everyone always angry around here? It's like, Ricky, you should have watched this show before you jumped ship. Wait till you hear about the parking lot, brother. Then we had Jada doing a promo on Kalani. Jada's probably the best female promo in this entire promotion, at least on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the Hardys versus the No Quarter Catch Crew, which was highlighted by every time Miles Borden tagged in, the fans chanted, "You're not Randy," because Miles idolizes Randy Orton. He's cut his hair. He's got the sleeve. He does the drop kick. He takes the same bumps. And it's no secret. But the problem is he's deaf, as they've made very clear on these shows, so they can't even hear these chants. But anyway, he runs wild. Hardy's cut him off. He tries a Randy Orton drop kick, but hits it with a twist of fate and senton and pinned. And then we have Axiom and Frazier challenging them into a tag title match. And Santino makes it official. We had a segment with Stax, Luca, and Rizzo having dinner. Old Tony shows up. He says he's going to handle it next week. Well. Then we had Solrook and Zarya having a meeting. Zarya says, Sol, no more handstands. And no more hair straightening. Piper and Chelsea show up. They're going to have a tag match next week. Ariana Grace and Lola, who I called Sol Ruka here. She's not. Match was all right, I guess. Ariana's not, I mean, she's just not like up to the standard in the ring of all of these other women. But she's a great character. Lola pinned her with a back fist, and there was like nothing else. It was like no post-match, nothing.
Is Stevie Turner still employed?
She's employed, but I don't think she can wrestle either. So she's backstage doing stuff. Had a video package with Eddie Thorpe. He is very upset that he beat Trick clean, by the way, he says in his match. And nobody cares. He's still a bad guy. So he wants to do it again. Name the time and place, he tells Trick. So away we go. Ava announces the matches for the theater at MSG. And then the main event was Ricky Saints and Javon versus Wesley and Ethan Page. And they had a very good main event. Ricky looked great in his debut. They held off the hot tag for a long time. We want Ricky chance. He makes the hot tag. He runs wild. And they're putting over Ricky before the match. They're like, you know, Cody has great things to say about this man. CM Punk puts him over as a... And so, I think it was Corey. One of them goes, I asked Cody what he thought of Ricky Saints. And he said, Ricky Saints, the best pure athlete I've seen in this business since Barry Windham. And listen, I love Ricky Saints.
Wait, what?
I think he's great. He was in the ring with Javon Evans. And I'm being told that he is the best natural athlete since Barry Windham. I was like, no. Doesn't mean he's not a great worker, but, Javon in this match, holy smokes.
How old is Cody?
He's,
Did he acquire that knowledge from his father telling him that Barry Windham
well, you know,
was
he watched a lot of matches.
That's a good point. Barry Windham was a hell of a worker.
He was great.
6'6". That's the amazing part of Barry Windham, being 6'6" at like 260, and he moved around like it was nothing. It was amazing. Him and Flair in '87, absolutely amazing.
Ricky hit a counter into his finish, got the pin. Great debut. Went off the air. And, it was like simple. It was a simple show. Lots of good wrestling. Lots of good build for the Roadblock show.
Good promos.
I mean, man. Yeah, good promos. It's like when this NXT is like firing on all cylinders, as they say, man, it's great. But when it's not, man, it's not.
Is it the
That's why I love watching this show. I never know what I'm going to get.
The new American Lucha to you? Like,
no.
The best NXT is some of the best
Actually,
stuff
it is.
you
Yeah,
watch?
it's very much like Lucha. When something's great, it's great. And when it's bad, it's terrible. That's what we got here. with NXT. But this was a great show.
Have you come back around now to Wes Lee? I know you wanted to bag, they killed him, they cut his hair, all that sort of stuff. I actually like him with leading Tyreek and Tyson.
I know you like it, but let's be honest.
Think it's effective?
Let's be honest. And if you're being honest, you will agree with me. This is the least over he's been since he's been here. He's a guy out there, and he's kind of leading Tyson and Tyreek. And you rarely see him.
But to me, you're right, but he has not lost credibility. Right now, you got Ethan Page, you got all these other things going on. The top heel in the company is Obafemi, if he's even a heel. You know what I mean? He needs to, it's not like they're killing him. It's not like he looks like a geek or a bum. In fact, they got him in a holding pattern doesn't mean that he has fallen off the face of the earth. I think that match last night proved it with all four of those guys.
Guanzon here says West looked small and generic last week. See, here's the thing, everybody. Okay? I know we're not supposed to talk about people's appearances, but it's actually important in wrestling. And it's why I keep bringing up Sol Ruka's hair, okay? Everybody needs to have something where they stick out, okay? Everyone needs to have something where in some way they stand out. Maybe you're a great promo. Maybe you've got an incredible physique. Maybe, in the case of Sol Ruka, you have a surfer gimmick and your hair is naturally surfer gimmicky, but for some inexplicable reason you've decided to straighten it so now you look like Charlotte Flair. And we already have a Charlotte Flair. I remember 25 years ago, Buddy would always talk about how, so-and-so wants to pretend he's Rey Mysterio, but dude, we have a Rey Mysterio. We don't need two Rey Mysterios. You need to be somebody else. It's like we don't need two Charlotte Flairs. Every time I say that, the board goes, we don't need one Charlotte Flair. Well, the point is we don't need two. So, Wes Lee, he doesn't have great size. He's not a great promo. He's a good promo. He's got a fine physique, but he's a short, smaller guy. And he actually had something that really stuck out, which was his hair. It was unique. Then one day he just cuts it all off, not even in a match. And so now he's a normal-sized guy with, in WWE, a normal physique and a normal haircut and normal promos. It's now what does he have that really sticks out? So that's the point here. Thank you, Dom. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store, all of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees, F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live, Mike Sempervive. Dom, for the moment, plan a replay for After Dark today, but I got to eat something real quick, and then I'm going to do what I can. We'll see what I can do. If there's a show, there's a show. If there's not, it'll be a sweet replay. But After Dark is normally here every Wednesday at 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. And we will be back next week one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And tonight...
Here tomorrow, by the way?
I'm not here tomorrow.
All right.
I'll be doing the watchdog gimmick in my kid's school. So that's when I have to walk around and be intimidating. You know what I'm saying? Make sure these kids don't cause any issues on that playground.
Better than doing the underdog gimmick on the Howard Stern show.
So I'm gonna do that. This person wants me to flex in my tank top for an hour. Is that right?
What is this, an OnlyFans? You got to pay for that.
That's my
Cameo
subscribers
level.
on X. I'll be putting up workout routines and eating.
Subscribers on Triple X for that.
Yep. And this person wants Dom to just play the Big Boom song for an hour.
That's tomorrow's show.
Could be. But anyway, Wrestling Observer Radio tonight for subscribers. If you've never subscribed, we got a special. Go to f4wonline.com/new. We got new subscriber specials for either a month or a year. That's f4wonline.com/new. And you can go to f4wonline.com/Spotify for Spotify, f4wonline.com/Apple for Apple Podcasts. Both of those are $9.99, as well as YouTube $9.99, f4wonline.com/YouTube. And if you check out Apple Podcasts, free trial. So check it out. And that's it, everybody. We're going to wrap it up. We'll talk to you next time, Wrestling Observer Live.